Yo, 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 welcome to another episode of Culture Controversial Podcast. Man, I'm your host, Simply Nichols 87, and my co-host, Ty H.
Hey, hey.
And we're back for another week. This is week 3 of the Anson Bearcats football season recap and preview show. Had a good turnout last week. Hopefully have a good turnout this week. Appreciate everybody for coming through. For all the new subscribers that subscribe to the channel, y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And for those that haven't, go ahead and subscribe, man. Don't want to miss out on some good stuff out here. So I'm gonna let Ty get into it because I know he want to get it off his chest, and I'm with him on this one. So I'll let you take it away because what
I
I'm gonna
mean,
say is Anson versus Pinecrest versus Anson. You already know how to break that down.
yeah, and of course, for those who aren't familiar, we're talking about the week 2 game where Anson High School played against Pinecrest High School. At Anson High School last week, Pinecrest won that game 35-6. And I know some people are going to look at the score and say, "Wow, they got beat 35-6." I also know that some people are going to say, "Well, they're a big 4A school with over 2,000 kids. We're a 2A school with about 860 kids overall that you count with the count." And people are going to say, well, at least they didn't just get completely embarrassed. But I'll look at it as this: that didn't really factor into it. This was a situation where we didn't execute. What I will say, let me get with the positives first. Anson competed with Pinecrest physicality. Pinecrest is a little bit bigger, stronger on the lines, but Anson competed with the physicality. They didn't lay down or back down. And for 3 quarters, Anson's defense played really, really hard. They got worn out in the fourth quarter when the offense couldn't stay on the field and defense was on the field so much. In the first half of that game, the defense got penetration multiple times, was able to get in Pinecrest's backfield and disrupt their offense. And our offense was able in the first half to move the ball. We just couldn't finish drives. And when you're playing against a great opponent, when you're playing against a formidable opponent, somebody got to step up and make a play. There were too many times where there weren't any playmakers there making plays. And an
Right.
example I'll give you, um, quarterback Luke Hyatt threw the ball really well. He was not the problem. He was accurate in his delivery. He stood back and he made good decisions with the ball. Lots of times, there were times whether it was in the run game or the passing game. I've seen an option where there was no one available and he would just pitch it forward when there was nothing there just to throw it away. I saw times where he would take a sack, which was a good thing in the case where there was nobody open and nowhere to go. He's making smart decisions protecting the football. So he was not the problem. The issue is playmakers got to make plays for him. There were several occasions where we moved the ball up and down the field and we just couldn't finish drive. Right before halftime, we got down in the red zone and had some opportunities. And I'm not going to call a player's name because I don't want to ridicule anybody, but his target just dropped the ball. There were several times on third downs where you could have kept the drive going when you're moving up and down the field, and you just had a bad drop or someone not fighting to make a contested catch. And that came down to a lack of execution. Right before halftime, it was a 7-0 game when Pinecrest was driving down the field. And it was on the third down, we blitzed, and the middle linebacker didn't get deep enough in his drop, and the tight end was able to snatch it and take it to the house. At halftime, it was a 14-0 game. You're still hanging in there. You just got to make a play. Fortunately, we would receive the kickoff in the third quarter, and lo and behold, the thing that plagues us the most, special teams.
It
The
kicked you in the butt.
the up men didn't secure the ball. They kind of squibbed it, did like an ankle kick. Pinecrest did, and our up men sat there, watched the ball roll, as in the same fashion that you do on a punt when you're just going to let it roll dead. However, anyone knows the kickoff is a live ball, and once that ball goes beyond 10 yards, I think it's live. They sat there, watched the ball roll on their side of the field, as if they were waiting for a punt to die, as if they were thinking it was a punt, as if there wasn't the understanding that's a live ball, and let Pinecrest recover that ball in their territory. I'm not trying to knock anybody. I'm not even knocking the players, but there's no excuse for that. And to me, that shows that attention to detail.
Ron Sellers in the building.
What's up, Ron? That shows that it makes me wonder if attention to detail have been emphasized with that. And especially when special teams has been a plague for the last few years with us, usually it's on kick coverage, but in this case, our kick coverage wasn't bad. This was on when we were receiving. We let a live ball just roll and let the kicking team recover a live ball, and it wasn't an onside kick.
Nope.
That's unacceptable. That took the wind out of the sails because when that happened, of course, the defense had to run back out on the field, and Pinecrest scored a touchdown a few plays later, put them up 21-0, and that's kind of where the energy changed. That's where I think the trajectory of the game changed at that point, and whatever chance we had, it took the wind out of the sails. Because I feel like if we would have gotten that ball and could have had a successful drive and perhaps could have punched in, that would have cut it to a 14-7 game. So you're talking about a 14-point swing, a potential 14-7 game turning into a 21-0 game over a mishap like that on special teams. And that's a prime example of what I mean is special teams can be the difference in games. No, it doesn't show up in your yardage or your yards from scrimmage and any of that. That's why they call it the hidden yardage. But special teams can cost you games. Granted, there was a good chance that we weren't going to win this game anyway because the other team was better, so I give them credit. However, we could have given ourselves a puncher's chance if we would have made plays. And I think this was a situation where there were crucial moments where a play needed to be made on offense, and no one made it. I'll give defense credit because when their backs were against the wall, there were several times they made plays, namely the time in the third quarter when Pinecrest was in the red zone and we were able to force a fumble and recover it. So the defense played hard the entire game. Those last two touchdowns that were scored on defense was due to fatigue because in the second half they were on the field the entire time. So like I said, we competed with our physicality. I thought our quarterback actually, given the circumstances, under duress, but he handled himself well, threw the ball well. Playmakers just didn't make plays. From the running game perspective, our backs got to quit tiptoeing in the backfield. I know it wasn't like a lot of glaring holes there. There were times they made plays, but it seemed like too many times they were going for the home run instead of just taking what was there. Sometimes you got to take the 3-yard or 4-yard gain sometimes if it's there instead of dancing in the backfield, trying to do the Reggie Bush thing and running so high. That costs you. I'm thinking what they might need to do since Hyatt is playing well at QB. I know they use Hickson as slot receiver a lot. They might need to put Hickson in that backfield at tailback and just let him be the feature back because he runs with authority, and he might just need to be the feature back out of the backfield, and that may put you in a better position in the running game. That'll also loosen things up and make it easier for Hyatt as well. I think this Anson team should win more games than won last year. This is not a bad football team. We got a lot of speed on defense, very athletic defense, especially in the front seven. I even like how the guys in the back four competed, even on passing downs. I saw several pass breakups where guys competed. The defense competed all night. The offense just playmakers didn't make plays. And namely, I'm speaking from the wide receivers perspective. Your wide receivers did not make plays, did not make routine catches when they were open, and definitely didn't make contested catches either. Sometimes when you're trying to upset a great opponent, you have to be able to make contested plays too. So there definitely weren't contested catches made, and several drops when guys were pretty open. So those things, I think, is what came back to haunt you because you had no room for error in a game like that. One thing I like is I never saw anybody lay down. Even on the last final drive, we scored a touchdown as the game was ending. The competitive spirit was there. So the effort and the competitive spirit was there. At this point, it just comes down to execution. If the execution can match the effort, this team should have a winning season. That's key. If the execution can match that effort, because the effort was there, the physicality was there. It was just a matter of this game. I chalk down to a lack of execution, not a lack of effort, not even a lack of skill. It was a lack of execution. And granted, that was a game that we weren't favored to win anyway. But I think there are a lot of positives you could take. Another thing I saw a lot of maturity in this team too, even in defeat. When I remember one of our linemen was was getting frustrated, and it looked like a potential altercation could have erupted between he and a Pinecrest player. And I like how two of his teammates who played Ransom grabbed him and pushed him away from having an altercation and actually removed him from the potential altercation. That's showing growth, and that's showing that lessons have been learned from things in the past, and it shows that there's intelligence and smartness there as well. So I was proud to see those young men step up and remove their teammate from a potential altercation that could have been consequential down the road. So that was smart and mature as well. I feel pretty optimistic about this Anson team. We got a game, and I'll segue into that. We got a game coming up against Piedmont tomorrow night. Piedmont is another 4A opponent, but they're 0-2. They lost the first game to Forest Hill, and they lost in a blowout to Monroe last week. So that also, when people going about 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, Forest Hill's a 2A school. They beat Piedmont 27-7. Monroe's a 2A school and beat Piedmont 55-0. So the thing about it, there are 11 guys on the field at one time. So those A's behind your name are not going to help you. It's just a matter of you either got to come out and make plays. And this Piedmont team is a team I think Anson certainly could beat and should beat if Anson plays up to his potential. The key to Mars is as long as Anson doesn't beat Anson. Come in focused, put last week behind you, apply the lessons that you learn, make plays, protect the football, and make the routine play. And Anson should win this game going away. Should.
I say this. What I observed last week, I seen a lot of good, and only bad. A couple bad things with you on the tailback situation that they need to go ahead and put the bulldozer in, let them pound away. It gives you a fighting chance. What's going on, Mello? Special teams. We preach this over and over and over and over and over. You gotta fall on that ball, regardless if you gotta just fall on that ball. That's too much yardage in their territory. Like they're on the plus side, so you got to fall on that sky kick or whatever. Even if it does go out of bounds, at least try to dive for it. You might
right,
get a
and it almost looked like they were waiting for it to roll out of bounds, and they just stood there and watched it. I'm like, at this point, if you got to kick it out of bounds, even if it's a penalty, just kick it out of bounds. Man. I mean,
but you can't let those kind of things go. That might have been the breath that took it out. I'm not gonna say it is because they actually fought to the end. But I feel like even if they got that possession, they may have had a chance to get down and make it a 7-point game. And it might have been a different outcome, maybe.
And the thing that bothered me about that is that that's one of the most elementary things. That there has nothing to do with them having over 2,000 kids and being a 4A power. That has nothing to do with us being a 2A school with 860 kids. That's just simple fundamentals. That's simple stuff right there. That looked like, and it looked like they were unaware that was a live ball. So that makes me wonder, like, has the attention to detail not been emphasized on like what I can't understand is
what charge of special teams on that, because that should have been definitely emphasized. I can't. Well, as a player too, they should know.
I mean, every year we have major special teams breakdowns every year and multiple times a year, and I'm like, I'm not understanding why that particular phase of the ball where we're not even adequate or serviceable. I mean, we have the poorest breakdowns there, and I'm not understanding why there's such a lack of attention to detail on that phase of the ball. It's when you're this many years into it, it's highly problematic. And I know they got a special teams coach, do they not?
They do.
Right. So I mean, special teams got to be emphasized just as much as offense and defense is, but that's still one of the three phases of the game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you an example. In 2000, I believe 2008 or 2009, the San Diego Chargers had the number one offense and the number one defense in the league and still missed the playoffs. And someone might say, well, how can you have the number one offense and the number one defense and still miss playoffs? They had the number 30 special teams.
It seems. I was about to say they definitely was right down to the bottom of the barrel in special teams.
Yeah, they were third to last in special teams efficiency, and they gave up a lot of returns and stuff like that, and a lot of big returns and that kind of thing. Missed field goals, had punts blocked and stuff like that, and they ended up being one of the. They were like the number 30 special teams unit in the league. That ultimately cost them games, which cost them to miss the playoffs. So there's offense, defense, and special teams. This third phase, like you have to have efficiency on your offense. You got to have efficiency on your defense. Proficiency and efficiency. But you got to be proficient in offense. You got to be proficient on defense, and you have to be proficient on special teams. We can't just pretend like that side of that phase of the ball doesn't exist, or that will cost you. And
Yeah.
no, that wasn't. Of course, that was just one play. I'm not saying that the whole game rested on that, but at that time, it took away an opportunity to make it a game and put us in a
P-Pack
position where the
5.
game kind of got out of reach.
But like I said, man, I seen a lot of good more than bad. Just the special teams thing is just a recurring situation that needs to be probably addressed more heavily than anything that I've seen so far this year. You still 1-1. It's the season
Yeah.
ain't over.
Oh God,
You in
no,
good shape.
no.
You in good shape.
Yeah, everything that you want to accomplish is still ahead of you. I mean, you're not in a bind or anything. Oh no.
No, you still in good shape. You at 500. We've started years worse than that. So
Yeah,
one
it's
and
just the thing
one.
is, but when we're here analyzing, we're just telling the truth of what we see. That's all. I mean, and
Yeah,
um, and there's always room for improvement. So even in the victory that we had 2 weeks ago, we kind of picked that apart, even though that was a win, because we both said there are certain things that can't happen in the next week
we did.
against a more formidable opponent.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing against the Cabarrus Stallions, but we knew that the Cabarrus Stallions weren't the Pinecrest Patriots, and we knew the Pinecrest Patriots were going to be a much stronger opponent, and there were more things that you were going to have to do more to be successful against the Pinecrest Patriots. And now even though this next opponent is a 4A opponent, it's still an opponent that's not as good. But at the same time, you still have to be prepared to play.
Ready to
Be
play
prepared.
him.
You have to be focused because the
Yeah,
thing about it, a bad team can win if the team they're playing isn't focused,
that's
and
true.
if the team they're playing make mistakes. So if Hyatt continues to protect the ball like he did last week and the week before,
And he didn't throw
and
any picks. So
didn't throw any picks, nor did he fumble. He
yeah,
held. That was not on him. He was efficient. I mean, somebody got to step up and help him out.
that's true. I
Now,
believe
now
it. He
granted,
wants to play. So
if he plays like he played last week, tomorrow they should win the game. Should,
should
but
yeah.
but but again, offensive line gonna have to protect, and the offensive line's gonna have to get a stronger push in the running game too.
Yeah.
And if the defense continued to do what it did last week, the last 2 weeks, especially last week, and how they looked in that exhibition against Marlboro, if the defense continues on the trajectory that they are, I expect us to win tomorrow. That's a game tomorrow, and I expect us to win by 2 or 3 scores if we play up to our capability. The thing is, you can't look at it like, well, we played a tough opponent. Now we gotta breather this week because we haven't done enough as a unit to even have that kind of mindset. Last year, Piedmont beat us handily, and
Yeah.
Piedmont only won 2 games last year. One of the 2 games was against us.
Yep.
So that was now granted. Last year we weren't with a full deck. Coach Jackson wasn't available for that game. He kind of had a family emergency that was going on that week, and had been and wasn't available that week. And I'm not going to get in his family business, but due to a family matter that he had going on that week, and
So
that
we're 2A, Wendell.
yeah,
2A.
and that prevented him from being there. So I took that as by not having your head coach during the week of preparation and on game day, especially during the week of preparation, and with as limited of a staff that you have, on like 4 coaches, it was going to be almost impossible to expect a good result out of that. And I think a lot of that contributed to that loss when unfortunately, due to a family matter that prevented your head coach from being available. However, I think it's a new season. I think we're better than we were last year. Based on what I've seen so far in the scores, it doesn't look like Piedmont's better. It look like they may have even gotten worse. But at the same time, what they did the last 2 weeks doesn't matter. All
Nope.
that matters is who comes out and plays well next
Tomorrow
week.
night. Yeah.
So again, protecting the ball, you got to tackle well too. I think as the team got tired last week, started missing tackles as the fatigue wore on. You have to. There were plenty of times I saw where when Pinecrest got big gains where we actually had the guy in the backfield and we just missed a tackle. So
Yeah.
you're gonna have to tackle well. If you play with the physicality and effort you played with last week, and play with the efficiency protecting the ball, I think you got to get Hickson involved more in the running game as
Yeah.
well. And you could
Definitely.
put him in the backfield, put him at tailback, and get
Yeah.
him involved. I think, and like I said, protect the ball. I think we should win this game something along the lines of. I'll say we should win this game like 27-0. I'm gonna go there.
27 then.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go get into the opponent. Like I said, playing
My bad.
Piedmont. Oh, you good? You good? You good? We got time. We'll break it down. You can always change it if you feel like it. But I was gonna say they play Piedmont, which used to be a conference rival.
Yep.
In the when we first kind of touched into 3A.
Yep, we played in South Piedmont with them and played in Southern Carolina with them a little bit too.
Yeah, and like I said, they had two whoopers their first 2 weeks. One the Forest Hills, who's I'm just gonna put this out on the ledge. Can't sleep on that team.
Yeah, Forest Hill got a new quarterback that transferred from Providence.
Yeah,
and
he broke. I think he tied the record last week.
Yeah, and I don't want to jump in, but I'm going to say this: when he comes to Williamsburg, he's going to get laid on us. You know what? But I'll worry about that later.
Yeah. We'll get to that when we get to that. But so they lost to Monroe 55-0. I want to say. I think that's what the score last week was. Now he coming to Anson 0-2. Anson's 1-1. It's just going to be about who's coming focused. Because, like I said,
and you got to understand that Piedmont team, they've lost the first 2 games, so you know they're going to be hungry for a win. Yep. At this point, they're in desperation mode. They're in that playing with house money mode. They don't want to go 0-3. So that's a dangerous team. Even though they're not good, this is not.
Can't come out there sleep.
Right, like I said, and I really don't mean this in a derogatory way, but they're not Cabarrus kind of Stallions. No. They're still. And by the way, the Cabarrus Stallions lost to somebody 55-0 last week. But they're not the Cabarrus Stallions. They're a legitimate football team. They're just not good. Yeah. So you still got to play.
You still got to play the game.
A little storyline in that is Coach Hyatt, an offense coordinator for Anson High School, former head coach for Anson High School, is the previous head coach at Piedmont too. So that adds a little. If you want to do like how they do in the NFL and college, like coach, even though he didn't coach those particular kids, Coach Hyatt was offense coordinator, be calling the plays against his against the school that he was the former head coach of as well. So that adds a little dynamic to it as well. This is a game where I want to see Anson come out the gate efficient, come out, impose your will, and put the game away.
On the very first drive, just impose your will, whether it's 2 plays or the 1 play to the house.
Right, and finish your drives. You can't get these untimely false starts. And like if the defense play up to their full potential, I don't think Piedmont should score. And I mean that. And that's not me trying to gas no one up. I
agree. I don't think they should score at all.
And the only reason the Cabarrus Stallions scored because the second unit was in there, but that's because the game got out of hand. I don't expect us to score to the point to where the second unit will be in there. That's why I'm saying 27-0. That's close enough to where the first unit, just like Pinecrest, we kept it competitive enough to where they had to keep the starters in. It's not like they were having their third stringers or anything in there. So I feel like this game will be where we should win it handily, but it won't be one of those 50-0 deals. So I think our defense is going to pitch a shutout tomorrow night. And man, I'm going to be mad as a fool 24 hours from now, and we didn't give up 40 points. But
he said pitch a shutout. Let's see. I'm gonna go a step different. I'm not gonna pitch a shutout. I'm not pitching a shutout. I'm actually pitching one of those games that might actually come down to the end of the game.
What do you think it's going to be, like 10-3 or something?
I'm gonna go along the lines of maybe 21-14.
That might be how it play out. If that's how it play out, that'll still let me know. I mean, a win would be a win, and I would take it. But it would also let me know that we're not where we need to be.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I'll take a win. I don't care if it's 30. I don't care if it's 35-34, as long as we're the ones with 35.
Yeah.
I don't care if the game is 8-7, as long as we got 8. I don't care if they get a safety and we kick a field goal and it's 3-2, as long as we got 3. At the end of the day, all I want is a W in that column. That's for win, not West Side. That's for Wadesboro. Anyway, yeah.
But that's going to have to come from all 3 phases of the team playing good at it. So that's gonna have to come from special teams as well. So
See, you know what? I'm gonna change my score. I'm not gonna say 27-0. Since you put it that way, I'm gonna say 21-7.
Okay. I
But
can
I'm
live
gonna
with
say
it.
it's gonna be one of those deals I think where it's gonna be 21-0 for a long time. Then in the
Yeah.
fourth quarter they get to 7, but we're able to hold them off to keep them scoring again.
Okay. I can live with it. They should be like you said. I think that two touchdowns should be the max that they should be able to come out tomorrow. Prove me wrong. Score 50. That make me even happier.
Make me much happier. I just want to win. And
Yeah.
you know, while we're speaking on answer, man, we can't not mention this, man. The Atlanta Falcons released their 53-man roster yesterday. And Anson County native, former Anson Bearcat, and former Charlotte 49er, and former Kansas State Wildcat, but I'm not worried about that. Timmy Horn made the team. So he made the final 53-man roster. That's remarkable. An undrafted free agent who was not an All-American in college or anything like that,
Right.
but just continued to work and work and work. He was considered a long shot to make the team. Even on some of the projections I was reading, a lot of people weren't projecting him to make a roster. That was a competitive field that he was going against. There were like 6 or 7 defensive tackles that were competing for roster spots there with Atlanta, and he wasn't one of the favorites. They had draft picks and everything else, and veterans who were ahead of him. But in the preseason, he had a phenomenal preseason, played exceptionally well, and was a long shot as an undrafted free agent. Ended up making the final 53-man roster. That
That's big.
epitomizes the when you put the effort in, when you go at it nonstop, and when you're hell bent on achieving what you're trying to accomplish, that you can make it happen. Timmy Horn is also a man of faith as well. So the thing is, he's a man of faith and a man of work. So he showed the faith and put in the work, and now he has an opportunity to even improve himself further. He made the 53-man roster, and
Mr.
you know
Skinny,
when
what's going on?
I've met Timmy before when he was at UNC Charlotte when I saw him at a UNCC game. One thing about this man, he's always shown humility. He's always shown great character. Timmy Horn's not a guy who's going to embarrass you. He's a man who's always going to represent well. He represents himself well. He represents his family well. He's married and I think has a child too. He represents his wife and child well. He represents Anson County well. He represents UNC Charlotte well. And for any young man that's out there who's a young athlete in Anson County, if they're looking for someone to pattern themselves after, Timmy Horn is a guy that any young man down there in Anson County should want to pattern themselves after. Not only was he an excellent athlete when he was in Anson, he was also an excellent student as well. He graduated from UNC Charlotte, so he's a 49er alum just like I am. So I'm a little biased towards him. And then, of course, he went to grad school 1 year at Kansas State to elongate his college football career. And then, and one thing about it, you can't say he didn't face adversity because he didn't even get drafted. But did he tuck his ball in and go home? No. Did he complain and give up on his dream? No. When he went to camp with the Falcons, he knew he was a long shot. But he continued to work, and his work translated into performance. And his performance secured him a spot on the roster. So again, Tim Horn is a man of character, a man of valor, and also a superior athlete. And I can't wait to see what he does in the NFL. He's I believe he and Stephon Anthony are cousins. So
It may
that
be.
shows you that. And I believe Stephon and Barkwell are cousins too, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure on that one.
Okay, but anyway, and Barkwell, if I'm wrong, just hit me up, and I'll apologize to you. But speaking of Barkwell, one of the greatest linebackers I've ever seen put on an orange uniform, but along with Stephon Anthony and along with Tim Horn. So I'm proud to see what Tim has done. So this makes him, let me see, JYD, David Lutz, Stephon. This makes Tim the 4th Anson player.
Oh, I got to talk to you after the show too. Some good news.
All right,
Yeah.
sounds good. Makes him the 4th Anson player to play in the NFL, and the third at least to make an active roster. So I believe. So that makes me proud to see a young man from Anson County doing well. He represents well. Someone else representing as well. Kenneth Crawford, who, if you watch TV, you know him as Montez Ford. Like I said, 2008 graduate of Anson High School. Another young man who's representing us well. I know when you turn the TV on, they're going to say he's from Chicago. Yeah, he was born in Chicago, but he was raised in Casey's Oldfield. He was raised right across the street from the store that was formerly known as Jimmy's Cigarette. So, and he went to Morven Elementary School, Anson Middle School, Anson Senior High School. Graduated in 2008. Was a track star there. So he's another guy who's representing us well. So
stands to this day.
So what?
And I think he still got a record that still stands to this day.
Right. So kids, when you look into those track records, don't look for Montez Ford. Look for Kenneth Crawford. That's the same person. Yeah, the same guy that's one half of the Street Profits that you watch on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. He ran track at Anson High School. This is true. This is not something that's a rumor or something being made up. This is true. So the overall point I'm making is you can come from Waysboro, Morven, Ansonville, Lylesville, Peachland, Polkton, Burnsville, wherever. You can come from a rural area. You can come from a small area. And when you come from where we're from, of course, you're going to be looked at as an underdog. That doesn't mean that underdog can't stand tall. And it shows if you apply yourself, keep your focus, then you can still accomplish whatever goals that you're looking to accomplish. It's just a matter of keeping that focus. So again, the same focus that Timmy showed, I want to see these guys continue to emulate his attitude, emulate his smartness, emulate his work ethic, and good things will come, and it'll pay dividends as we see it's doing for him right now. Who does Anson have after Piedmont?
It would be
Albemarle.
Yeah, Albemarle. And then it's the last one would be Paisley.
They got Mount Pleasant. They got Mount Pleasant between one of those games.
Is it Mount? Yeah, I think it is Mount Pleasant. It might be Mount Pleasant, then Albemarle, then Central Paisley. Central Paisley at the end of the month. I do know that much.
Paisley is the last non-conference game.
Yeah. So it's probably between Albemarle and Mount Pleasant.
I think we got Albemarle, and then Mount Pleasant, then Paisley. So I know it's 1 week at a time, but if this team is really if they play their full potential, they should win all of those games.
Yeah, they should sweep through this non-conference pretty well.
Should, but you got to play.
You got to play. Yeah, you got to play, but you should sweep through it.
You should, because you should beat Albemarle. Richard Davis is a great man. I think well of him, but as far as Albemarle is not where they used to be, nowhere close to it. You got to beat Albemarle.
Got to. You just got to.
Mount Pleasant, you can call that a coin toss, 50-50, flip a coin. Yeah. You got to beat Pageland. This ain't your Danish Pageland Eagles. This ain't Pageland from 2003. This is a Pageland that's falling off like we have, and that's not a diss. Because as far if the program's going to turn around, the time is now. And you and I, after the game was over, we had a conversation with former Anson head coach, Coach Jody Grooms, who was in town visiting and was in attendance. And I remember he said something. He said they're really close. So that's from a coach's eyes, from a coach's perspective, from what he watched. He said they're really close.
Yeah.
So I want to see that coming to fruition and see how things transpire. This is a team that has potential to do good things. I know we got a lot of sophomores and stuff starting, but at the end of the day, what you have is what you have.
It only makes you get better.
Yep, they say iron sharpens iron. So let's see what they do. Do you know what the JV score was tonight?
I have not gotten any word on it yet, but I will look up into it.
Hey, Ronald, if you're still on, do you know what JV score was?
I think they should be through now. Though. I would say they're close to it, or they.
And them games start like at 6:30, don't they?
I don't know if it's 6:30 or 7. It might be 6:30. Now that they moved the time up, it might be 6:30.
Yeah, and speaking of that, folks, tomorrow the game's at 7 p.m. at 96 Anson High School Road, that's in Bearcat Stadium. So not 7:30 at 7. You can go online and buy your tickets. So you can and they'll scan them for you. So that way, and you
You
know
get to
what?
hear the great announcer Fred Davis on the ones and twos.
Hey, it's growing on me, man. I'm enjoying them.
Yeah, I like his commentary. It's entertaining. Like
Yeah.
it's good because he's into the game.
And while we're at it, speaking of the game, the coverage of the game, Anson Record, dear Anson Record, just in case you haven't known, high school football season has started. Just in case you didn't get the memo, Anson County has played 2 games. Just in case you didn't get the memo, the third game is tomorrow at 7 at Anson High School. Just in case you didn't get the memo, they won the first game 44-7 against Cabarrus Stallions. Just in case you didn't get the memo, we lost the second game 35-6 to Pinecrest. Just in case you didn't get the memo. We have a game tomorrow night at 96 Anson High School Road against Piedmont High School, just in case you didn't get the memo. But the season has started, just in case you didn't know. Just in case you didn't know.
I hope they know. We can't have a never mind, I'm not gonna say that on air. We can't have a Stacey Dash moment. But
that's so wrong with the DMX. I just called it what you said. But anyway, yeah, and no. I got more for the Anson Record. I follow them on Instagram, and they're a press group, so they know about freedom of speech and freedom of press. So if they want to get mad at me saying this, and so be it. I mean, I don't work for any of them. Anson Record, when you're on IG and you put a poll up talking about which high school season are you most excited about, like high school football, volleyball, or whatever else, and actually put a poll up, and I said, you know what? It would be really nice if Anson Record actually showed up and covered some of our games instead of occasionally going on Max Prep and putting a score in there every now and then, which they haven't even done that yet. And they replied to me. They said, hey, just so you know, we just hired a new sports reporter, and soon they'll be covering all the sports. Now, that was like right before the season started. That was after the exhibit, the week prior to the week leading to the first matchup against the Cabarrus Stallions. All right, we're 2 weeks in. I ain't seen him or her. I ain't seen him.
I ain't seen them either.
I go to the Anson Records website. There ain't nothing about the games. There ain't nothing about the scores. Yeah, I know I'm being grammatically incorrect. It ain't in there. That's what I said. And I'm gonna call out Anson Records. Hold on. Can you hear me? Because I'm like struggling to hear you a little bit.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. Yeah.
Okay.
These androids. The Anson Record, I think they're owned by the same paper that own the Richmond County Daily Journal. So it's kind of like we're the little redheaded we're the little orange-headed stepchild, and they send a person or two down here just to say something. But you can tell in the last 4 or 5 years, the attention to detail on the Anson County news from the Anson Record has been poorest.
Very.
You can tell that operation doesn't even appear to be based
Blackout.
And at this point, the Anson Record has become a poor excuse for a publication.
Yeah.
I'm saying it because I mean it. So you're not gonna find out anything. What's up? Chappelle. What's up? Who's that?
It's Pale.
Do I know him?
Nah, he's you don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know.
Oh, I thought he may have gone to school.
They come in here. They part of the chat.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey man, appreciate the love. I thought you may have gone to school with us or something else. And college football starts back today too. Right now, the backyard brawl's going on. West Virginia versus Pitt. That's an old rivalry that realignment that ruined. So
what you got the score on that one?
Nah, I ain't about to look it up.
I'm just looking forward to the Oregon Georgia game. That's my eye for the weekend.
Georgia's gonna win that game because Oregon not gonna. It'll be a close game, but that game gonna be like in Atlanta or New Orleans or somewhere like that, right?
I think it's in New Orleans. I don't think
that's SEC territory. They're not gonna let Oregon win that game.
I'm going for Oregon because that's my boys.
I know you like Oregon in their traffic signal uniforms, but but they're not gonna let Oregon go down to New Orleans and win that game. You know that, man.
I gotta have faith, man. You gotta have faith. I'm going for the Ducks, man.
Man, they should have won a national title that year that Ohio State won it in 2014.
Yeah, they should have. We ain't gonna get into that.
They should have beat Auburn. They should have beat Auburn that year too. But Nick
They
Fairley.
actually had that game. They actually had that one, but that team came down and drove. So I guess they
Yeah,
won.
Cam Newton.
Yeah,
They couldn't stop him down the stretch. And Nick Fairley was living in their backfield, man.
yeah.
Like they could not block. They could not block Nick Fairley, huh?
Michael James had a rough night that night.
Yeah, because they couldn't block Fairley, and Fairley ended up being a bust, man. I thought he was gonna be like a Warren Sapp type player.
Look again, Fairley was a bust. Darius Miles was a bust. Well, Darius Miles went to Alabama. He was a bust, but he was a highly talented defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Another one I ain't heard of. What was that guy's name? He was with the 49ers. I think his name was Reuben Foster.
Yeah, I remember Reuben Foster. What happened to him?
I ain't seen him since he got drafted.
I'll tell you another. Cleveland Farrell starting to look like a bust.
Yeah.
Cleveland Farrell. What's the other one that played at Clemson? All the defensive line. Vic Beasley had one good year. And that was
just one. The Super Bowl year. That was it.
Yeah. The guy that played with Buffalo Bills, Shaq. Wasn't that Shaq Lawson? And I'm gonna stop with the Clemson players turn out to be bust because I don't want to. You know why? So
you said America's team. Now you know the Alabama.
Yeah, but under Dabo Swinney, under Dabo Swinney's team, most of those great defensive players from Clemson have ended up being bust. And I'm gonna quit calling names because if I get to calling too many names, I'm gonna have to call a name that I don't want to call.
That you know what? That ain't a bust. Something happened with that situation. I'm not gonna call that a bust. Something happened with that. And
I don't even want to talk about that because I mean,
how's that a bust and you led the team in tackles?
Well, yeah, the rookie year. Well, Vic Beasley had 15.5 sacks 1 year too. So I mean,
but the next year it was just like he didn't even want to include him in nothing. So something happened.
Yeah, I mean, and then Peyton badmouthed him too.
Yeah, so that probably just shut him down. And so after that, it's just what it was. So yeah, I get what you're saying. But
yeah,
I ain't gonna call him a bust because you didn't get to see what it really would be. I think it could have been more.
True, but the point I'm making is Dabo Swinney's the guys that played under what's the defense coordinator? He's at Oklahoma now, but he was defense coordinator.
Talking about
Venables. Yeah. All of those players that played under Venables didn't live up to what they were supposed to be in the NFL.
Smokey, what's going on, brother?
Brashard Breeland was okay. The corner, he was all right.
He was all right.
And the safety, Curse, he was okay.
Curse, yeah. What was the other one? Bowers? Well, he went under
Daquan Bowers. That was before the Dabo Swinney. Daquan Bowers was like, he was like when Dabo Swinney was like a first year coach. So that was like before Venables got there. That was like right after Tommy Bowden got there.
Yeah. Was it Bowden? Tommy Bowden?
Yeah, Daquan Bowers was recruited by Tommy Bowden, but Swinney was the coach by the time he got drafted. But that wasn't Swinney's guy though. That was Tommy Bowden's recruit.
Yeah.
He was a bust too.
Yeah. There was a lot of them. Alabama.
Well, I mean, even if you want to go even before then, if you're going to go to the Bowden era, God rest his soul, but Gaines Adams was a bust. And I mean, God rest his soul. I mean, I hate what happened to him, but he was a bust. I mean, granted, we didn't know that he had an undetected heart condition.
Alabama had their fair. I said Alabama had their fair share of them too. So I'm not going.
Yeah.
They've had their fair share. A lot of them.
Wait, I mean, even on offense, you just look at Trent Richardson.
That was a bust. That's probably the biggest bust in the draft I ever seen.
That's a hit, but that's a hit. Trent Richardson's a head scratcher to me, man.
I put it right there with Jamarcus Russell.
We got to throw Ryan Leaf in there too if you're gonna say that. But
I knew that was just an automatic bust.
But when you think of Trent Richardson, that's one of those that with the ferocity that he ran with. Then when he got in the NFL, he had no vision. Do you ever see that highlight on YouTube when he was with the Raiders and he had that wide open hole and he bounced that way?
Yep. I was like, yeah, that's not gonna work.
Like, I still can't understand the Trent Richardson thing. Now, granted, when he was with the Colts, they didn't have a line, but
I can answer that for you. My favorite one was Texas and USC. That was one of my favorite ones.
You talking about college football national championship game?
Yeah, I'm saying Texas USC.
That was a great game. I'm trying to think. Was the one that I liked more? That Miami Ohio State game was good too.
Yeah, that was a good one. Like top. If you did a top 5, I think the Miami would be number 1 because that was a good game. And then you got to
Yeah,
put Texas
Ohio
USC.
State won that game. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to put Texas USC too. Now 3, 4, and 5, I couldn't really. I couldn't put it in the bag for you.
Oregon and Auburn got to go in that top 5.
Yeah, that was a low scoring game too. That was good.
22-19 with a score. That was great.
Yeah.
That was Oregon versus Auburn was a very good game.
I'm trying to think of before.
Florida State versus
Auburn.
Yeah, because they had to come. They were down 21-3 and they came back from behind to win that. That was a good game.
Yeah, Jameis.
Yeah.
My
then after that, a lot of them, because most of the games ended up being blowouts.
Yeah, majority of
them. Like Miami versus Nebraska, that was a blowout.
I tell you, the biggest one I already knew was going to be a blowout from the start. Notre Dame and
Alabama.
Yeah, that
was like 42-13 or something like that.
That was a bust too. I was like,
man, I'm gonna tell you the one that shocked me the most: Clemson versus Alabama when they beat them 44-16.
Oh yeah, that was,
when they beat them like that. That was like Alabama picked a bad day to have a bad day.
They had a bad game. I don't think they ever beaten that bad in probably forever.
And the thing about it, they had like nearly 500 yards in total offense, but only scored 16 points. They couldn't finish their drives. They were turned over in the red zone, missing field goals.
Hurt.
And Trevor Lawrence, T. Higgins was burning their butts. Lawrence was slinging on them, and T. Higgins was just burning them.
He's doing good in the NFL. I like.
They had another receiver. What other receiver that was with him that was burning him that night?
Ross.
Yeah, but I mean, he was just slinging it and just eating them alive.
I think Ross had a medical condition. I don't think he's playing. Not right now.
Okay.
I don't
he
remember.
Back, he's the guy that had the spinal thing.
I think it was spinal. He with Kansas City now.
Yeah, but I'm talking about he came back and played with Clemson last year.
No, I thought he was drafted.
Right, but I think he's a rookie. Is this his rookie year?
Either this year's his rookie year. He ain't playing this year. He got something dealing with that same injury, so he's not.
So he out again with that?
Yeah,
because he missed 2 years with Clemson because of that.
Yep, I think he's out again. Yeah, he's out again this year. I was looking at a video last week about that.
I thought he had overcome all that.
The defensive lineman from Michigan, the African guy, he's out because I think he had leukemia or something. One of them had leukemia.
Oh man!
And it was another guy. They were highly talented prospects, but they didn't get drafted high because of injuries.
And the conditions, man.
Yeah,
but I noticed, man, the edge rush position produced a lot of busts, man. Like the defensive tackle, or just defensive line in general, defensive tackles, defensive end. You get a lot of busts from those positions, man.
Last good one I've seen, edge rusher wise, I'm not even gonna count Michael because Michael's pretty good. He plays in that linebacker's position. But as far as edge rushing, I'm saying Von Miller's probably about the last good one that came.
Myles Garrett pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know.
He ain't Von Miller, but
Von Miller got old now, but I'm just saying, like,
Von Miller's still be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking about all the busts that Carolina drafted in that position, like Vernon Butler. God, there was another one. Defensive end. Was it Everett Brown? Yeah, he was a bust. Everett Brown, he was a bust.
Yeah.
Coney Ely.
I thought Ely was gonna be okay, but I think he ended up going on that bus train. He started off pretty decent.
It's like they didn't. Now they hit on Brian Burns. That's a hit. Brian Burns is a hit. I can live with that.
He's gonna
I'm not
be
saying
in that.
He'll go time, he's still really good.
He said audio.
So many.
No, he said the audio messed up. Your audio.
Mine?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I hear it now. I can hear you. It just kind of distorted a little bit.
This happens every time. What, got that robot sound?
Yeah, like that robot sound. Yep.
Oh God. It usually go away.
Yeah, they'll have to fade out. It's something dealing with the connection screen
I'm
or
thinking it's an Android thing because even some other people do that to me when I'm talking to them on the phone. They got an Android too.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Did mine do that when I was using mine? Before I got an iPhone now, but before when we first started, I was doing Android when we first started doing this.
It's done it before, but not like on a regular basis. It's probably just time for me to get a new phone. It's so old, man. I got this phone in 2019.
Oh yeah, it's 4 years old. Yeah, it's time.
But it's still, it's like I still got storage and stuff on everything good. So,
Yeah,
man, I
I
got this
mean,
S10, man. I got it when the S10 first came out, so I'll let you know how old it is. And I got to wipe my screen. I got it when the S10 first came out.
yeah, it's just gonna be like that because it's the phone one. It's okay. We're gonna make it work. It'll come back. It'll come back.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, it sounded like he was coming back right there.
Damn it. Dang it.
But yeah, I like I said, man, there's Carolina. I'm expecting the NFL starts next week, so that's a good thing. We got football in 3 phases starting. We in the circle now.
Yeah. I haven't even watched the preseason, so I don't really know what to expect.
I don't either. So I'm in the win right now with it. I know Carolina has I say it's a pretty big matchup next week. They should win it. Cleveland.
Man, in NFL, this ain't high school. In NFL, I don't count
They should
anything
win
until
it.
I see.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. But they should win it. Should.
Cleveland got
I
a
don't know who their quarterback is at this point. They don't have a quarterback.
yeah, but they got a nasty defensive line.
Yeah, they do.
And we got an offensive line that's going to be starting to Ricky at left tackle and a bunch of yahoos on the rest of the line. And you got a Mayfield who's all emotional, wanting to get revenge and stuff. I'm hoping he's focused.
Then I think the kicker went out. I want to
Yeah,
say
they
the
just
kicker.
signed the kicker today. That's a problem too. If you got someone that you don't even, that's special teams.
There it is. There's a great example right there.
You shank a couple kicks. Let's say you miss 2 field goals in that game. And let's say down the stretch, you're down 20-14. That's just been the top all game and being down. That changes the entire. Or let's say, for example, or let's say you're down 23-14 with 4 minutes left. Well, ordinarily you'd be down 23-17 if you made. You'd have been down 23-20 and just need a field goal tie, touchdown, and win it. Now you're 2 scores down because you missed 2 field goals.
Yeah.
Or let's say you miss extra point too. Let's say he missed extra point and then you decide to go for 2 to make it up. You don't get either one of them, and now you're down 21-12.
Yep. And let me tell you something: the extra point ain't guaranteed in the NFL like it used to be.
Now get 33 yards out.
Yeah, you definitely shanked it.
Or let's do another. Let's say you lose the game 14-12 because you missed 2 extra points in the field goal. Well, you should have won that game 17-14, but instead you lose the game 14-12.
Yep.
That's
5 points. 5 points. 5 simple points cost you a ball game.
Yeah, and all of that's because of special teams. That's what I mean by that. So, I want Carolina to win the game. The backup quarterback, the sour joker that we got from the Jets,
Darnold.
Yeah, he's on IR with a high ankle sprain.
I mean, no offense, man. Like you finna come in the game and throw 500 yards.
Yeah, no, but the thing about it, PJ Walker is your backup, man. That's dicey.
He said both of us Panthers. I support the home team. I'm a Patriots fan, but I root for the Panthers. I ain't got no ill will to the Panthers.
I'm a Panthers fan, so there you
go. I root for the Panthers. I had no ill will to the Panthers. So O-line gets no love. What you say?
He said O-line gets no love. I said because the Panthers O-line sucks. I don't get it.
Yeah, they gonna get tested this week. Whoever got to go against Myles Garrett is gonna get that work.
It's gonna be that rookie they got from Virginia. What's his name?
Which one?
The guy they drafted from Virginia, the rookie.
I don't know who they got from Virginia.
The first round draft pick was a left tackle.
I thought he was. No, that was thinking about. Oh, the offensive tackle. No, the tackle from NC State. I'm thinking about the NC State.
My bad, man. NC State. That's right.
Yeah, he from NC State.
Yeah, he's from Charlotte too.
I think he's from Charlotte anyway. I think.
Yeah, well, he probably gonna be the one that's gonna catch the Miles Garrett assignment.
Say it again. You phone your distortion.
He's the one that's probably gonna catch the Miles Garrett assignment.
Oh yeah, he probably is gonna have to. He's probably gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, this thing gonna fix itself by now.
Yeah, it was working. It just went back. It was doing good when we was talking about the game, and then it just went back like that. Like it was good for like 5 minutes, and then it like went back into that.
Yeah, I don't even know if I smacked the phone, but
He said, "Who we play week 1?" I think the Patriots. The Panthers got the Browns. Patriots have, if I'm not mistaken, let me find that list again because we got it in here somewhere. I forgot who we got week 1. Who you got to win though?
Is it a division game?
I'm not sure if it's division or not. It might be Buffalo for real or Miami.
Yeah,
So we can start off with one of them anyway. Let me see. Hold on. I look it up right quick. There's no biggie. Let's see. NFL. Can y'all hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. Let's make sure y'all can hear me. Let's see. NFL. Let's go here. Let's go here. And let's go. That's regular season. We start off with the Dolphins. I figure it was conference. It start conference early.
So you get Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins.
Yep, we start with them down in Miami too.
They play all tough in Miami though.
We never win in Miami. It's never been. We've got the worst record in Miami that I could think of in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I don't know why they always struggle down there in Miami. So
at the last second too, it ain't never. It's always last second.
Yeah, I remember the time they had that the bandits on the field type thing when they beat y'all that time.
Yeah, that play Grunt was back there playing safety. That was terrible.
Like I said, the only thing they were missing was the band on the field.
Yeah, I was like, they let him get that far downfield on a freaking. Let's just try to get something to play.
See, I don't believe in. I don't know. They got Matt Patricia running the offense.
That's what I'm scared. That's what I'm scared of. Defense, I wouldn't be worried about. Offense,
well, he's a good defense coordinator. He's a horrible head coach with the Lions. They fired Jim Caldwell for him and got worse, so I still don't feel sorry for the Lions. And they're still horrible with Dan Campbell too. So Jim Caldwell had back-to-back seasons. Jim Caldwell led them to back-to-back winning seasons for the first time since 94-95, and they fired him anyway. Including one of those 2 seasons was a playoff appearance, and they fired him anyway. And then they brought in Patricia, who was worse, and they brought in Dan Campbell, who was even worse than Patricia. So I don't feel sorry for the Detroit Lions. They deserve to lose.
And I think he won a Division I them years.
Okay, my point. But anyway, with Patricia back in New England, you would think he'd be running the defense, but they got him running offense. And I don't think he knows what he's doing offensive-wise. He doesn't have an offensive background. And they don't have Tom Brady to match their odors. And McDaniels is gone, too. Yeah. I don't think New England makes the playoffs. And I think that Jones is going to regress tremendously.
I'm 50-50 on that. I'm with you with the Patricia thing. I'm 50-50 with making the playoffs because we possibly could miss it. I'm not saying we won't because our division is actually pretty good.
You're not. Last year you had James White and Deion Lewis and you ran the ball. Your defense played great. Matt Judon played great. Judon probably could have been a dark horse candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. You're going to have to repeat that again. Last year you got off to a 2-4 start, but then you end up winning some games and went on a winning streak. Then
playoffs.
Yeah, Buffalo killed you. Well, you lost 4 of the last 3 of the last 4 games before the playoffs anyway.
We lost all them games in December except maybe one.
Yeah. They weren't all that great. And Matt Jones is just one of those hopes that they want to anoint coming out of college. And I didn't think it was great at Alabama. He had Devontae Freeman and a great team around him. All he was just chucking the ball up and never coming down with it. Last year, all he did was dink and dunk. And that running game and that defense got him into the playoffs. And I think this year he's going to be exploited. And I think you're going to see regression, and to the point where they may even consider drafting another quarterback.
Possible. I mean,
I don't.
I wouldn't put it past him.
So what?
I,
Yeah. So
I thought I wouldn't put it past him. Honestly, I thought they were gonna go in the Deshaun route at first, but I think they kind of backed off of that.
nah.
I think they backed off of that.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that because there's
What
nothing
do you
more
think?
to
What
say.
do you think about the Russell Wilson extension?
How old is Russ? Russ is about what 30?
4?
He
I
ain't
want
that
to say
old, like 33.
33, 34, or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if that's their guy, they got. I mean, so be it. I always thought he was good. But as far as the Super Bowl, at the time he won the Super Bowl, that was the defense that won that. He was still a young, up and coming guy who's at that point in his career was just a game manager at that time. And in
Yeah.
the Super Bowl, yeah, he ended up throwing for a decent amount of yards, but that's after the game was over. The game had already gotten out of reach before they started letting him throw the ball and before he started compiling up yards. That
I
game was
want
one,
to play. Let's see.
which,
No.
which is why Malcolm
Eagles ain't
Smith
either.
was the MVP of the Super Bowl. But I mean, he put up good numbers as the years went by, but they weren't like in Super Bowl contention. So with Seattle, so I think Russell's going to play well in Denver. I think they're probably a playoff team, but I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender.
Look, random thought. My dark horse in the AFC West is the Raiders.
Nah,
You
ain't
don't
Josh
think so?
McDaniels the head coach?
Yeah.
Then no.
I think they'll be all right this time. I think he'll be all right this time around. I give him the second chance. I think he'll be okay.
I don't believe in him. I don't believe in Derek Carr. They lost their up and coming receiver because he got drunk and killed some people in a car wreck. I don't believe in that franchise. This is, and I definitely don't believe Josh McDaniels has done nothing as a head coach to give anyone faith in him. All thing Josh Daniels has done in his career is ride Tom Brady's coattail.
My second dark horse would probably be the Chargers.
I wouldn't call that a dark horse. I mean, they got a good young quarterback. I don't see why that would be considered a dark horse.
Because you know
And
that
by the way, the Chiefs are going to win the West if they show up.
think so.
I mean, if they show up and play, they will.
What about the AFC North? Who you got? That one's gonna be question.
Baltimore?
Think Baltimore?
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep Lamar healthy, but Baltimore probably.
Cincinnati second, maybe.
Maybe. I don't even know if Cincinnati makes playoffs.
Think that was just a one and done deal.
Last time team lose Super Bowl and miss playoffs next year anyway. That happens a lot. So, and it's not like they had this great squad. They just got hot at the right time.
Yeah, they got it.
Yeah, I'm not that big on Zach Taylor, the head coach, either. I think that was kind of fluky.
I
don't even know.
The AFC East.
I think Buffalo wins it again.
Yeah, I think they win it again. That's just a powerful offense to me.
I don't think their offense is going to be as good as it was last year, but I still think they win the division again.
They'll think. I don't think Diggs gonna have all those yards like he did last year either.
So what?
I don't think Diggs is gonna have all those yards.
Stephon Diggs, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna have all those yards like he did.
Yeah, and the defense, I don't know if they're going to get takeaways there, but I still think they'll win enough games to win a division.
Yeah, I think it's be them, Miami, maybe us. I wouldn't sleep on the Jets right now. They
say that again?
I wouldn't sleep on the Jets right now.
Why would you not?
I just think they're gonna be different this year. Some odd reason. They're not gonna be that. They're not gonna. I put it like this. They're gonna be close to 10 wins than they were last year.
Oh, how many games they win last year?
I think they won 3.
So if they win 4 games, that is closer to 10 wins than they were last year.
Yeah, or 8.
5. 4.
Who knows? Who knows?
You know what?
We might be like the NFC East this year.
I'll sleep on them and leave my doors unlocked.
Good God Almighty. You're a bad man.
That's how little faith I have in them. Well, since we're going down divisions, let's go to the AFC South. What you got? Tennessee? Indianapolis?
I might take Indianapolis. I don't believe in Tannehill. And I think
neither do I.
I
don't believe in Tannehill or the coach Mike.
I don't want him to get hurt, but they're gonna run him into the ground.
Then let's go with Jonathan Taylor running the ball. They got Matty Ice, who still wants to prove that he got something left in the tank. Let's go with the Indianapolis Colts for the AFC South.
I can live with it. Because the other two teams ain't gonna. I don't think they gonna win 3 games together. Houston, and Jacksonville. I don't think they'll win 3 games combined.
Poor Lovie Smith, man. You got stuck with that team.
Oh man, that's just. Well, I don't know if Levy fix it, he fix it, but that's just gonna be a long shot to fix.
And then, since I'm a Carolina guy, NFC South,
Tampa
or New Orleans.
Tampa.
New Orleans. If Winston wouldn't have got hurt last year, New Orleans would have been in position to win it. I mean, they're right there. I mean,
it's gonna come over to Winston turn that ball over a lot. He's a gunslinger now. He will throw a pick.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd probably say Tampa as well.
But a close second would probably be New Orleans. I give you New Orleans. Carolina third, Atlanta last.
I think Atlanta's gonna be the worst. I think Atlanta's gonna be really bad.
Yeah.
Who's the quarterback?
Your guess is good as mine. Matter of fact, let me check that. Hold on, I guess.
No, I'm being serious.
I know. I don't know. That's what I'm finna check. I do not know.
I know they got Desmond Ridder that played in Cincinnati on their team, but he ain't no starter.
Let's see. NFL.
I just search Atlanta Falcons starting quarterback. I know they named somebody.
I do not know. Like, I'm so serious. Like, I don't know.
They're gonna be picking number 1 in the draft, probably.
Oh man, that ain't good. Let's see. Stats. Roster. That's what I want to see. Roster. Oh, Mariota's quarterback.
Yeah, they're gonna be bad.
And Cordell Patterson still tailback.
Shout out to Cordell Patterson, former Rock Hill Northwestern High School Trojan.
Yep. Tennessee Volunteer.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. But what's the other? Well, the East. The
NFCs.
East. Yeah.
Philadelphia.
No.
Dallas.
I'm probably gonna say Dallas again.
Yeah, by default, Dallas.
Yeah, because Philadelphia needs a quarterback. I like Jalen Hurts, but he ain't the guy.
No, I agree with you.
He's just not that guy.
I never thought he was that. I never thought he was great. I mean, I don't have nothing. I don't think he's a bad dude or nothing, but I never thought he was great.
No, I ain't saying bad. Yeah, he's just not the quarterback.
Yeah,
but those weapons that they have good receivers. AJ Brown and you got Devontae Smith. You need a quarterback to get them that ball.
Yeah.
What's another?
So they got So we're gonna say Dallas with the East. We said Tampa with the South. The North, Green Bay. Who? Detroit ain't gonna win it. Chicago ain't gonna win it. Minnesota ain't gonna win it.
Yeah, it's got to be Green Bay. Unless something dramatic happens, it's Green Bay.
Unless Kirk Cousins finally play well in the fourth quarter and win enough games. And then in the West, that's tough. The 49ers and the Rams are good. So I mean,
that's gonna be tough.
But the 49ers got to make their mind up for what they're gonna do with quarterback.
I might go 49ers.
If they got to make up their mind at quarterback, they got to pick one. They act like they don't know which one they want to use.
Go ahead and let it loose.
Garoppolo's was holding them back. I think.
Yeah, Lance is more.
If they would have had a decent quarterback, I thought they could have won the Super Bowl last year if they had a decent quarterback. They were a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl team. Yep. And they still got to the NFC Championship with a dang on Yahoo at quarterback.
They did. And I think Trey Lance I think he's got a better skill set than Garoppolo as far as he's dual threat anyway.
Yeah, he was
more athletic.
Coming out of North Dakota State, he was considered a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go 49ers, then Rams. Seattle's gonna be at the bottom of the barrel.
Man, Geno Smith was named their starting quarterback. Them in Atlanta they're gonna be battling for that number 1 pick.
Not Geno.
Yeah, they named him their starting quarterback. They don't have nobody else.
God almighty.
You know you're tanking. When you brought in Geno Smith, you didn't bring anyone else. You named him your starting quarterback after you traded Russell Wilson. You know you're tanking.
God dang. Man, come on, man. Really? Geno Smith is the starting quarterback of Seattle Seahawks.
They name I look it up. The Seahawks named Geno Smith the starting quarterback for week 1.
This is
I'm serious as a heart attack, man. They named Geno Smith their starting quarterback for week 1.
Oh my God. And he got to start Monday night against Denver. Ain't the irony. Oh, the irony. There he
Speaking
is.
of Denver, where's Teddy Bridgewater?
Teddy was in. What was the last place Teddy was at? He was in.
He was in Denver last year, but like, where is he still? Did they keep him?
I'm finna look right now.
Teddy two gloves.
Nah, he's not on the roster.
He where?
He's not on the roster.
Is he with the Dolphins as a backup? Because I'm trying. Did he go to the Dolphins?
I'm finna look at it right now.
Because he's on the team. Cause I saw his name in the preseason. Like when I was seeing box scores.
Yeah, he with Miami. He's with Miami.
That's his hometown. He went to Miami Northwestern High School.
Some of the greatest athletes came from Northwestern, and
yes, it did have.
Yeah, some of the greatest athletes come from Northwestern. That's
fact.
fact.
Ed Reed not from that area, but But I know some great players have gone to Northwestern Miami.
Jets. Good luck. Good luck. I think they got Buffalo starting out.
And you talking about some don't sleep on the Jets. I'm like, why not?
I'm not gonna sleep on them yet.
And then the quarterback, he ain't no good, and he out. Zach, the one everybody likes his mom.
Zach or Will.
The one that went to BYU.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson.
He ain't starting.
No, he's hurt. He's like out for the next 6 weeks or something like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought he was starting. Never mind.
He didn't show me any upside anyway. No, he's hurt.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I remember the funny thing about it. The first time I ever saw him play was against Coastal Carolina. When BYU, you remember BYU and Coastal Carolina played, they scheduled the game in the last second because BYU's game got canceled and Coastal Carolina's game got canceled because of COVID, and they both in the middle of the week got together and decided to play each other. Yeah.
Dang. Well, Jets. Sorry, I was with you till Zach was there. Now
like he was gonna make the difference.
I was giving them a dying chance. I try to keep them from drafting first every year. Yeah,
well, I mean, they draft second and third and fourth and stuff too. So
top 5. Every
top 5
year,
general line.
One thing you can count on with the Jets that they'll be in the top 5 for picking new players. I can guarantee you that. If I don't guarantee you nothing else, the Jets will pick first.
I remember like in 2009 and 2010 when Rex Ryan had the boys in the AFC Championship game back-to-back years.
Well, yeah, but they don't got a Rex Ryan now. That's
when Bart Scott. I'm about to say Bart Gunn. When Bart Scott was there, I've been watching too much wrestling when I said Bart Gunn. You remember Bart Gunn, don't you?
Yep, the guy that got knocked out by Butter.
but I mean that was. But also he was the brother of Billy Gunn, and they were brother of Billy Gunn. And they were the smoking guns, and that's why the Billy Gunn and Bart Gunn. Then they went to separate ways. And
defense, Carl Lawson. Who is Carl Lawson?
Who's Carl Lawson? Yeah,
I don't know. Who the hell is Carl Lawson?
Yeah, about that butterbean thing, man. They shouldn't have done that to Bart Gunn, man.
Oh well, that was the creative's idea.
Vince Russo. No, I think Vince Russo the one that came up with Broadbrook. Bart Gunn knocked out Bradshaw and Steve Dr. Death. What happened? They got mad when he knocked out Dr. Death.
Yep.
That messed Steve Dr. Death up, man. He was never right after that.
They probably had a bad concussion, like something happened.
Well, he also ripped his hamstring in that thing.
Yeah.
Steve Dr. Death Williams.
And then they put him in Butterbean, and the match didn't last for maybe 5 seconds.
Yeah, because I know Butterbean is a bum, but he's still a professional boxer versus a guy who has no real training. I mean,
if he hits you, he's gonna put you to sleep.
Yeah, man, poor Bart Gunn. I'm like, man. They didn't have nothing to do with Bart. They didn't really have anything for Bart Gunn, because they weren't planning on him to win that Bar for all thing. You got to realize after him and Billy Gunn broke up Smoking Guns, they never really had anything for him. So they put him in Bob Holly that time as the New Midnight Express. I remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah. If Bart Gunn, if you're watching this, we talked about you tonight.
Oh god! But
what did he say?
He said Shucky, the Patriots coach, and Rico, the defensive coordinator, and we will lose all 17 games this year if that's the case.
Well, I think right now, I think they'll win 8 games. I think they're gonna go 8-9.
Hey, if anybody out there, just me, if you want an offensive coordinator, there's still hope for Jim. What's his name? John Gruden. There's still hope.
John Gruden never get hired by anybody again.
Offensive coordinator.
John Gruden will never. He won't be on ESPN. His best shot is Fox News.
That's true. They accept all applications.
Yeah, his best bet is get a job on Fox News and then doing some conservative ranting or something.
They're like, oh, that's nothing. Come on, you're
yeah, but John Gruden will never be in the NFL or any kind of NFL capacity again.
I can see it now. Fox News with John Gruden and Urban Meyer.
Oh, or he can end up on that, Jason Whitlock. He can end up on that network with him, that conservative show.
Oh, I don't want to see that. You know what they never mind. I'm not gonna get in there. I'm like, you know what they need to do every time it comes on TV?
What?
Put the censor button on the whole show.
Speaking of Jason Whitlock, I met Jason Whitlock a couple years ago.
Yeah, I still remember the pictures you were at. Where were you at?
Miami.
Miami, there you go.
Man, that was about an hour and a half before the news broke about Kobe. The same day Kobe got killed.
Is it here you go, B-Pack, yeah, Eagles, yeah, suck. But anyway.
Eagles might win 9 games or so.
I give them 7. I give you both with the Giants, and I give you both with the Commanders.
How many games did the Commanders win?
I want to say the Commanders won maybe 5 last year. Maybe.
Yeah. So how many did they go in this year? They got Carson Wentz now. Ron Rivera, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is kind of the same style as Cam Newton.
Humble.
So you think Ron Rivera and Scott Turner and them going to try to run that same offense they ran in Carolina with Carson Wentz?
He's going to get hurt. No.
They better not. Hail to the Commanders.
Yeah, they'll win the Commanders and they'll win the Giants just because I know Chilltown ain't up here to defend themselves.
Man,
they'll win both of them.
Are the Giants still going with Daniel Jones, man?
Well, if the sun comes out tomorrow, yes.
Well, I don't understand why can't they just cut their ties to realize he's a bust?
Because they're the Giants.
He wasn't even good when he was a dude.
Again, because they're the Giants. They only had success because of Eli Manning. I'm not gonna say all their success, just those last.
During that time, we just said. But my point is, like Daniel Jones, he wasn't. I never understood why he was drafted so high. Because even at the time, people wonder why didn't they draft Dwayne Haskins RP? And granted, Dwayne Haskins didn't pan out to be what I thought he was going to be, and of course, unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But I still didn't see any reason to draft Daniel Jones. I didn't think he was that good at Duke.
That year that they drafted, I don't think there was no good quarterback class that year when they came out.
They draft somebody else. You can't wish to pick that high on the wrong quarterback. That sets your franchise back like 5 years.
Yeah, they could have picked up a veteran for that.
Yeah, hey, since you're taking yourself off, I'm taking myself off too.
Yeah, you can take yourself off. We back up. We on incognito mode.
I didn't say that, but still.
No, I said Nito.
Oh, Nito. I thought you said incognito.
No, incognito. We in incognito mode. But
I got you.
But yeah, I don't know. Giants, they just crabs in the barrel at this point. They just
Man, if Wellington Mara was still living, man, he'd be flipped over and had a heart attack by now.
Who that?
Wellington Mara, the former owner of the Giants during their successful years.
Oh yeah.
He's dead now.
Yeah, that probably would have killed him. This, yeah. They just need to start over from scratch. Just cut your ties with them, because I'm pretty sure
They
if
could cut down to Daniel Jones and get somebody else. I don't know why they're so loyal to him.
I don't hope they didn't sign an extension with him. That's what I'm scared of.
And you know, I hate to do this, but you know what I really want to say? Like, if it wasn't Daniel Jones and it was somebody else, there would have been cut ties.
Yeah, yeah.
When we talking about like guys who bust like Jamarcus Russell and all this stuff, Raiders cut ties him in year 3.
Oh yeah, they definitely have been cut ties. They're the cut ties part.
Yeah, but it's you know how I feel. You know, certain quarterbacks get a little release to others.
Yeah, I
tell
would
you,
have went
if
for Kenny
Lamar Jackson
Pickens.
would have been bad like that for the Ravens, he'd have been gone.
JF, what's up, buddy?
That JF from they used to coach at Anson.
Huh?
That JF that used to coach at Anson.
No.
Okay.
No, definitely not.
I mean, let me get comfortable now since I got the camera on.
No. That's one of the YouTube homies.
Okay. I thought that was the Anson County legend, JF.
Nah, that ain't that one. That ain't that one. Yeah, we at the hour and 20-minute mark. We about to get up off of here. We appreciate everybody for coming through. We'll be back next week. We will have some more good content for next week's preview for the game, and we gonna definitely gonna like next week's show. I promise you that. T, you stick around after the end, cause we got to talk.
I just call my phone after we get off this.
Okay, yeah, I do that. We'll just do that. But yeah, y'all have a good night. We out. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Hit the like button, share the video. We gone.
Take care.